Let's begin.
Mr. Ying's story time. 讲故事的时间。
嗨，大家好，大家好，我是校长，欢迎大家来看这个Mr. Ying 的 Story Time。Welcome, good evening. It's so good to see everyone tonight. Thank you for joining me today. Here's my screen. 我们今天要继续讲这个莉莉寻亲记。好，这是我们的这个3个主要的人物，主要的 main characters 就是莉莉、小明跟 Linda。So thank you for joining me. Like we're gonna continue Lily's story of looking for her biological parents. So what is the English title for this story? I actually don't know. But these are our 3 main characters. We have Lily, Xiaoming, and Linda. This is a college student, and Linda is Lily's adoptive parent, mom. All right, here we go. This is a review. 来，我们来回顾一下这2个礼拜之前讲了什么。OK， 他说3天里，莉莉和琳达见了53个家庭，哇，其中不少家庭的故事很相似。那时计划生育很严格，他们不得不送走孩子。在这几天里，莉莉的心情很不好，让她感受最深的就是琳达的支持。她体会到在这个世界上最爱她的是她的养父母。她想到每年的春节、生日，琳达和东尼都会做的一件事。莉莉明白了中国的老话“生娘不如养娘大”的意思。来了西安这么多天，莉莉还没有去过城墙，也没吃过西安的饺子。她会喜欢吗 ？So like they visited quite a few families the past 3 days. And they listened to a lot of stories, and it kind of affect Lily's mood. And then, but then at the same time, she realized, Linda and Tony, her adoptive parents, they're the people who love her the most in the world. So she kind of understood how there's a Chinese saying that the parents that feed you and raise you are more important than the biological parents. In this case, I mean, she was adopted. But anyway, and they were talking about, well, they haven't really visited Xi'an, like some of the attractions and try out their food. So they wonder, if she'll like see the dumplings. So let's find out. 好，因为检验 DNA 需要时间，所以 Linda 看莉莉太累了，请小明带莉莉去玩玩，他自己去西安博物馆。小明就带莉莉去参观西安城墙。中午吃过饭，气温很高。莉莉说：“哎，我们坐出租车行吗？”他们打车到了城墙。So they were testing DNA, and it takes some time for the report to come out. And so Linda is like, hey, why don't you go hang out with Xiaoming and then just, go visit some places. So Xiaoming took Lily to visit Xi'an Chenqiang, one of the, I guess, tourist attraction in Xi'an. And then it's a hot day. They're like, can we take a taxi? And then so they went there in a taxi. 城墙在西安市中心，有4座城门。Oh, this is like really challenging my English, translation skills. But anyway, 小明说，从飞机从上往下看，它是一条很长的长方，它是一个长方形。莉莉站在城墙下， 抬头往上看，这个城墙还真高，有4、5层楼这么高。我们西安城墙有12米高，而且很厚，底下有18米宽，顶上有15米宽。小明指向远处说：“现在我们看到的城墙是明朝建造的，有600多年的历史。”它围着它一走一圈有13公里。Okay, so this is a little bit history talking about the 4 walls surrounding Xi'an. And basically, Xiaoming is talking about it's a long, like elongated rectangular shape. And then if you were standing at the bottom of the wall looking up, it's like 4 or 5 story tall. And so specifically, it's about 12 meters tall and 18 meters deep. So it's like how deep the wall is. Like it's a really thick wall. It's like 18 meters thick. And then even all the way on top is 15 meters thick. So it's a really thick wall. I want to say 1 yard is about 3 meters. So it's, so it's about what, 5, 6 yards thick. And it was built back in the Ming Dynasty. It's just about 600 years, history. It's 600 years old. 丽丽从来没有看过这么厚度大于高度的墙。Oh, that's interesting. 古时候在这个墙上是可以跑马车，士兵还可以操练的。小明说，小明租了一辆双人自行车。丽丽会骑自行车，所以但是从上了中学之后就没有再骑过了。我们就骑这个吧，你要是没有力气了，我可以带你。小明扶着车让丽丽先上。我中学的时候就是骑自行车上学。So they were talking about how thick the wall is, and at certain places it's thicker than it is high. So it's quite incredible if you really think about it. Boys and girls, like, look at the wall on your, in your house. Like it's not nearly as thick, right? Imagine the wall is thicker than it is tall. So that's quite interesting. Anyway, so they rented a bike, a tandem bike. And Xiaoming is like, well, if you get tired, I'll just ride the bike. You can, take a break. And it just so happened they both ride bike to school. So I guess they're, somewhat familiar with riding bikes. 他们慢慢的骑着，小明给丽丽介绍一路的风景，10几公里的路骑了2个小时左右。哇，骑完了，丽丽累了，正好看到一个长椅，他们坐下来。这时候太阳就要下山了，这个夕阳洒了一片金黄色。So they were like taking their time riding that bike, and it's like 10, 10, 12, 10, a little over 10 kilometer. Took them about 2 hours to ride. And then they're like, by the time they get to a place, it's like, sunset. So it's really pretty during sunset. 丽丽看着长安古城，想起了前几天兵马俑的士兵，他们好像在兵马俑上飞跑，而城墙下马在叫，人在喊。往远处看，却看到了很多的高楼大厦。西安是个多么迷人的城市啊！这个古老而又现代，一定有很多的故事。丽丽说：“小明，你知道吗？很多次我想着自己的出生地是什么样子。”但是只能在网上看看，这次终于真是亲眼真正见到真正的西安了。我觉得它很美，我为它感到自豪。So like Lily was like envision, what it was like hundreds of years ago, like, thinking like maybe like the warriors, they were training on the wall, and there were horses running, and then like people were shouting. But then at the same time, like if you look afar, you see like those high risers, in present time. So like it's such a interesting city where you have, like some of the, histories, but at the same time, well, she was thinking that there must be so many histories and stories, behind everything. And then, so she was talking to Xiaoming and say, like I've always dreamed about the city and always wanting to know more. And now that I'm finally here, I'm really, really proud of the city. It's so beautiful and with so much history. 小明说：“Lily，你这几天太累了，那么又这么多伤心的故事，大人都受不了，而你还是个孩子。今天看到你这么开心，我真高兴。谁是孩子啊？我才比你小一点呢。”这个丽丽看到小明的笑脸、明亮的眼睛，心里感觉到暖暖的。她突然发现小明笑起来的时候很迷人。哦，是这样子吗？所以她的脸突然开始红喽。这时候手机响起来了。琳达打了电话来说：“哎，你们在哪里呀？”然后说：“哎，我们晚上一起去吃饺子吧。” So like Xiaoming is talking about, hey, you've been like really tired this past few days. There is a lot of sad stories, but I'm very happy that you're happy today. And then Lily's like, she was kind of embarrassed a little bit. She's like, kind of feeling shy. Anyway, all of a sudden, there's her cell phone rang, and then Linda called, and she was like, "Hey, where are you guys? Let's go have dumplings for dinner tonight." 好，来到饺子馆，里面已经坐满了人。在中国，南方人吃米，北方人吃面。西安在北方是吃面的，对吗？没错，西安的面食有很多，饺子大家都爱吃。So they were at the dumplings restaurant, and it's full of people already. And in China, the southern China, we eat rice, and the northerners, they eat mian. It's like noodles, but well, the translation is noodles, but it's not just noodles, but any food made out of flours. Excuse me. Like. So Xi'an is like located in northern part of China. So like they have dumpling. They make a lot of dumplings. 我们在美国也喜欢吃饺子。每年春节，我们全家就会去中国城新年游行，晚上就是吃饺子。丽丽边说边坐下。是啊，中国人在春节、元宵节和冬至的时候都吃饺子。西安的饺子很特别，你今天好好尝尝。So like Lily was talking, right? And she was talking about like she likes to eat dumpling in the US also. Like every time there's a Chinese New Year celebration, they would go to Chinatown to celebrate and have dumpling for dinner. And I think this is Xiaoming maybe like. Someone responded, yeah, like Chinese people, we eat dumplings during, for New Year celebration, and also 元宵节. What is 元宵节? All of a sudden, can remember. Sorry, and winter solstice. So those are the occasions where we eat dumplings. And sorry, 饺子馆. Well, it's kind of hard. Like I have to translate and then speak Mandarin. So sorry, I have to switch channels. So I apologize. 饺子馆前面最显眼的地方挂着一幅书法，一角一形，百角百味。丽丽问小明这是什么意思啊？这个餐馆的饺子有几百种的。大的、小的、甜的、咸的、煮的、蒸的、月牙的、花鸟鱼虫的，什么形状的都有。这个很多西安人都来这里请客。So like they're in a like really I guess popular or famous dumpling restaurant, and then there's a choreography that says one dumpling, one shape, 100 dumpling, 100 flavors. And Lily's like, what does that mean? And Xiaoming is like, this restaurant is making all kinds of dumplings. You have big ones, small ones, sweet ones, savories, and then we have water boil, and we have steamed. We have different shapes and all kinds. And a lot of people like to just have dinner here. 服务员说，饺子宴最多可以有108种不同的饺子。Whoa, that is pretty crazy. I'll explain. Lily 他们说3个人只叫了10多种就已经吃不下了。小明说，哇，吃饺子也有学问。从制作方面来讲，炸的或煎的饺子通常会先上桌，然后才来蒸的或煮的饺子。从口味上来讲，先吃咸的，再甜，后麻辣咸味的饺子，然后先从海鲜的，再吃到鸡肉的，最后再吃素的。吃了10几种饺子之后，服务员拿了银耳汤让他们清清口，接着再吃饺子。哦。I'm gonna try to translate, but it might be a little bit difficult. So, but anyway, there are like 108 kinds of dumplings, and they're like Lily was like, did we only order like 10 something, and we're already full? So Xiaoming is like, well, there's a lot of knowledge behind this. Like there are different kind of cooking style, right? You could fry, you could pan fry, and you could deep fry, right? And then, so usually you will have the fry ones first, and then followed by steam or boiled. And as far as flavor goes, you serve the savory first, followed by sweet, right? And then there's how do you say ma? I don't even know how to say ma. But there are spicy ones and savory dumplings. And then there are seafood with seafood stuffing, and then followed by chicken or vegetarian, vegan. And then so after their dumpling feast, the server brought them some dessert. Like that dessert is like white fungus. It used tremella, Ying. It's well, I know what it is, but like it's really hard to explain. In somebody Google it, please, if you're curious. All right. 丽丽说：“这个饺子太好看了，都舍不得吃啊！”她一个一个指着大眼睛的金鱼、可爱的小白兔、黄金的小鸭子，一个比一个可爱。琳达拍了很多照片，要给美国的朋友看，有的像云朵，有的像绿叶，有的像蝴蝶，名字也很好听：鱼跳龙门、群龙闹海、绿鹰玉兔。So like Lily was talking about how it is really, each dumpling is like made really well made. It's very pretty. Some of them looks like goldfish, and there's like bunny looking ones, and there's like ducky looking ones. Like every one of them is very cute. So Linda took a lot of pictures trying to show off to her friends in the US. And so it's just like, they made dumpling all kinds of ways, like very pretty. 最后是珍珠火锅饺子，服务员点了一只黄铜的大火锅，里面的小饺子有珍珠一样大，很可爱。从1到10，吃几个饺子都有不同的说法。小明说，1个是一帆风顺，2个是双喜临门，3个是369往上走，4个是4季发财，5个是五子登科，6个是66顺，7个是7星高照。丽丽不懂那些数字代表了什么意思，小明一个一个做翻译。I'm not sure how to translate all of this. This is so funny. So anyway, they had a like a hot pot dumpling. right? So the server brought a big hot pot made out of brass, and once again, there's all kinds of dumpling, and then there's a way that they talk about the number of dumpling they eat. Like if you eat one, it's like I'm sorry, I can't translate. Y'all take a picture of this, like all of this. This is like all, I guess, Chinese idiom. And then so it's extremely hard to translate on the fly. So y'all excuse me, because if you're gonna wait for me, like by the time we're done, it'll be like midnight. So apologize, but they're just like calling out different number of dumplings. So sorry. 我不知道西安博物馆有这么多东西，一天的时间也只看了一半。博物馆给我一个耳机。Oh, hold on. Did we skip one? Hold on. No, we didn't. Alright, 博物馆给我了一个耳机，可以方便一边参观一边听英文导游的讲解，非常方便。琳达也在博物馆看了一天，很兴奋。我最喜欢的是唐朝的工艺品。对了，那时候的女人以胖为美，如果我生活在那个年代，就是大美人了。Oh, that was cute. So basically, well, I thought I skipped a page, right? Because this is Linda talking about her day. Like she went to a museum, Xi'an Museum, and like she was talking about how big that museum is. Like she spent the entire day, only finished like half the museum. And then like they gave her, kind of like a Walkman, or maybe you're all too young to know what a Walkman is, but basically it's some kind of like an iPod, right? Like an iPod. And then so the iPod would talk about introduce different artwork, and there's a English, English speaking tour guide. And then so she was talking about she loved how the artwork in the Tang Dynasty. And then back then, the heavyset ladies are considered beautiful. So she was joking about like she would be like a, beautiful person back in Tang Dynasty. 如果有时间，我真想再去一次，带你去看看那个博物馆。琳达对莉莉说：“哎，对了，你们骑自行车好玩吗？”莉莉说：“我也希望能再去看一次城墙，再去那边骑车。我看到了西安的黄昏，也想看看西安的早晨。”他说，so they were talking about, yeah, I would love to go back to that museum. And then so Lena is asking Lily, so how was the bike ride? And Lily was like, yeah, I would love to, relive today and go visit the walls again, those ancient walls. And then she saw the sunset and she would love to see the sunrise. Oh, so that was it. Wow, that was a fun story. Like today, they talk about a lot of good, sightseeing places and the food. Like it got me interested. Like I want to go visit Xi'an. I don't know about you. I'm totally interested. Maybe we'll make a trip to see Xi'an or sometime. But well. 好，这个小朋友，今天这个故事好好玩哦，我就觉得很有意思，我听了都觉得哦，好有兴趣，我也想要去看一看西安，去参观参观，所以搞不好我们可以大家一起作伴，有机会的时候，可能暑假的时候去西安玩一玩。But anyway，谢谢你们今天大家听校长讲故事。那我们下礼拜礼拜天同一个时间晚上8点，然后我们再继续看看丽丽这个寻亲记，好不好？So well, thank you guys for listening to Mr. Ying's story time tonight. And it's a really fun night. I really enjoyed today's story. Like it's more positive, and I can see that they all have fun. So I can't wait to see the next episode. So once again, please join me next Sunday at 8 o'clock, and I will see you then. All right, y'all have a good night. Bye.